In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use Cesium plugin with EasyFM. So here I have the sim template project. Of course you will have to do some things differently for your own project. This is going to be just an example. So of course before we begin we can remove everything that was used in the old landscape. We will no longer need it. Of course we are going to use the Cesium landscape instead, so this can go, everything can go. Okay, and let's enable the plugin. So this is assuming of course you have already downloaded it. So let's search for Cesium, enable it, and now we're gonna have to restart the project. After the restart you will have to wait for a while for the new shaders to compile. In the meanwhile you can go to the new Cesium tab in here, and you will have to connect your Epic account to the Cesium account. I'm not going to go over the whole process, but it's fairly self-explanatory. So after you entered the authorization code, you will have this new menu in here, and from this menu we can add some actors that are necessary for Cesium to work. So first of all we're gonna need the Cesium world terrain plus big maps, aerial imagery, without labels and without roads, just one. So let's add it, and here we can either use existing token like from some other project, or we can create a new one. Let's create a new one, and after a bit of loading the terrain will begin to appear. For Cesium to work properly with EasyFM, one more thing needs to be done, and it has to do with the fact that by default the georeference isn't set at 0 altitude. The origin height is some 2000 units lower, so this needs to be changed to 0. So 0 altitude in real world corresponds to 0 altitude in Unreal World. This way EasyFM will receive proper altitude. So now we just change the starting location for our aircraft, so it doesn't start at sea level, because sea level right now is well below the terrain. So let's move it a bit higher. Let's say here. And let's try playing. And as you can see, everything appears to be working. There's another thing that you may want to do. Now the sim template has its own atmosphere system, so for your own project you may want to use the Cesium one instead. So let's remove the light. This was the sim template one, and you can use the Cesium Sun Sky. Now when you first add it, it will simply appear that everything is white, and that has to do with the fact that it's incredibly bright by default. So what we need to do is to lower the exposure somehow. Now the best way to do that would be probably to enable auto exposure in project settings, and also extend the default luminance range, because it's really bright, and this requires the restart of the editor. So let's do that, and after the restart you should be finally able to see things again. And now you can finally set the place where you want to go. This is of course done at georeference in here. Okay, so let's randomly place the aircraft This looks interesting. I don't know where it is. And let's select time, and this is done in the sun sky. There are of course many more things that need to be changed to get the best out of Cesium, but these are the basics.